Welcome to Here, There, and Everywhere. This is a new feature of our YouTube channel, Acorn Hill. Here, There, and Everywhere covers our other interests: people, events, places, road trips, and anything that we learn and people that we've met along the way. For the first episode of Here, There, and Everywhere, we're taking a road trip to Western North Carolina. It's my birthday, and I'd like to take Kat to a section of North Carolina that has been visited, that has been blogged, that has been talked about by so many people from all other states and from here in our home state of North Carolina. We will travel 4 hours from the Raleigh area over to Asheville. Asheville will be our main hub. This is where we will stay, and off of this nice, quaint town, we will be veering off to several locales and environment that we will tell you all about within this vlog today. Hey guys, Louie here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Acorn Hill. Well, technically we're not in Acorn Hill right now because, as you can tell, we're on the road. It's my birthday and I'm going to have a short weekend out on the mountains today here in North Carolina. And today also, look who's making her Acorn Hill debut on the channel. Look at her. Say hi. Everybody, say hi to Kat. It's her first time to be on camera. Say hi.
Hi.
In any case, Kat has prepared a weekend for me out on the mountains. And for those of you who've been to the western side of North Carolina, Asheville, and the regions thereabouts, on the western side of the state, it's filled with mountains, national parks, national forests, highest peaks along the Appalachian Mountain region. That's the area that we are going to. It's about a 200-mile ride from our house in central North Carolina. And where are you taking me today?
Craggy Gardens.
Craggy Gardens. So where's Craggy Gardens at?
It's along the Blue Ridge Parkway and about 40 minutes northeast of Asheville.
Cool. Okay, so we're going to be exploring that area, and as Scott said, the Blue Ridge Parkway along with the Blue Ridge Mountain Range. These are famous sites and famous environments here, there, and everywhere. So we shall see where the road will take us, and we'll see you there in a few minutes. Okay, we just did a quick pit stop somewhere between Winston-Salem and Asheville. We still have about 2 hours to go. Having a little coffee, light breakfast here in the car. But we'll be on our way over to Asheville in a couple of hours, and we'll show you around when we get there. Okay guys, first fill up for our road trip. Fuel right now is $3.33. somewhere here in Morganton, which incidentally was my previous stomping grounds. I was assigned here for 3 months as a traveling therapist back in the 90s, and I had no idea it's this close to Asheville, so back then I wasn't able to go there. But today I'm looking to see how things have changed over the years as we head on to Asheville, so we'll see you later. Alright guys, entering the Asheville area, we veered off and took the Blue Ridge Parkway, where we were treated with very good views of the Blue Ridge Parkway area, the mountains, and parts of the Pisgah National Forest here in this part of the Appalachian region. Craggy Gardens is a series of trails that is within the Mountain to Sea Trail here in North Carolina. It starts from the mountains along the western side of the state and stretches all the way to the very tip of the Outer Banks along the eastern seaboard. For today's early morning hike, we arrived around 10 a.m. here, and we chose to take the Craggy Pinnacle Trail. The Craggy Gardens Trail and the Craggy Pinnacle Trail offers a fantastic hike that has a variety of habitats, historic structures, and sweeping views of the surrounding mountains. The trail connects the Craggy Garden Visitor Center to the picnic area and is a part of the larger Mountains to Sea Trail. This area is saturated with deciduous forests dominated by American beech, yellow birch, buckeye, and mountain ash trees. As one gains elevation, the Catawba Rhododendrons line the trail, creating a tunnel effect. This area is also filled with diversity of wildflowers, typically decorating the trail from spring through fall. As we drove on the Parkway on our way up to the Pinnacle Trail, we passed through 2 tunnels. Most of the work on the tunnel digging was done by hand and provided by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s. Well guys, we have now arrived at the Craggy Gardens Visitor Center. Kat is inside asking for directions from the park rangers and a couple of volunteers. They're very helpful. They've given us a few tips on how to climb the Craggy Pinnacle Trail and things to watch out for. So always visit the center when you can, because they can really give you a customized idea on how to deliver your trail and how to go up and enjoy your time here at the park or wherever you go. Craggy Dome parking lot. Guys, we made it to the Pinnacle, which is supposed to be the path or the hiking trail. It's a very basic hiking trail that we will go on for today's day trip, less than a mile all the way around. It really shouldn't take us too long and too far from discovering this new environment, but I am very, very pleased with what we are seeing right now, because look at these gnarly branches of rhododendrons. Oh, this is a good view right here. Look at all that. Just from that view alone, from this frame alone, it almost appears like it's very otherworldly. But these are ancient, almost ancient roadies, as seen by all the lichen, those silvery green algae looking structures that are growing on the branches. But they say, and this is one of the major highlights of this environment in the summer, the whole thing, according to literature, is a big bouquet of pink and purple rhododendrons. The entire mountain will be covered by rhododendrons. That's a rhodie right there. And those other leafy structures and that mound over here covering that side of the mountain, that side, those are all rhododendrons. Just picture this, late spring, early summer, that will all be covered with rhododendrons. Look at the leaf structure and look at how perfect the dome is created by all the rhododendrons here. These are the buds for next year. The plant is already trying to push buds that will grow really healthy flowers and blossoms for next year. August to September, at least in my gardening zone, this is the perfect time for you to start watering your rhododendrons. Many of you know hydrangeas grow well out on the coast. Rhododendrons grow in this type of environment where they grow into the craggy cracks of the mountains. Deep rooted, they go all the way down deep just to find that source of moisture, which they are very generously getting here because of the rains and the dew and everything. But these are also native plants. These perennials are called angelicas. Look at these. Really good to have in the backyard garden. Angelicas are perennials and they belong in the herb family. This experience is literally wild because this place is studded with angelicas and this is the mountains. Who would have known? We're going to climb up a little bit more onto this hike. Kat is already ahead of me. There she is, looking up ahead, looking at the other native plants here. There's a lot of ferns, a lot of native grasses. So we'll talk to you later once we go through the other areas that we will explore. And guys, the rhododendrons that I've been talking about earlier, this is what they are called, the Catawba Rhododendron, very native to this part of the western North Carolina area. These are angelicas. Angelicas belong in the family of fennel, the family of dill, and carrots. Umbellifer plants, you can tell because the shape of the blooms are almost similar to an umbrella. So all those little stems that make up the individual rosettes and individual flowers, that's what they're called, angelicas. Really good perennial to have. These are ancient, almost ancient Catawba rhododendrons that are growing. Those above the lower story of these plants are mountain ash. Form a good canopy through the different walkways that are located here in this part of this hiking trail. Guys, the entry to this hiking trail is very visual because you can see the mature lichen already stuck on these ancient rhododendrons and the canopy that's formed by the different branches. Also, not only lichen, there's moss already stuck to these trees, so they provide that silvery canopy right above this trail. Again, down below, more angelicas, and the bees are buzzing. This is a major buzz hub for insects and pollinators because of these pollinating plants. Now guys, keep in mind, we're still at the entrance of the trail. As we enter this thicket of rhododendrons, we can now see and feel that tunnel that the rhododendrons are forming. Now the plus side to this area is that even in the summer, like right now it's late summer in the forecast, it's about to go to 90 degrees, it is fairly cool underneath this tunnel. As we enter the climb, we will find stone steps that are cut and embedded into the trail to ease the grade. This is a fairly steep but very short trail. So placing them securely, I thought gave it a more natural touch to the place. And it's really more enjoyable that way as we take each step very carefully, as Kat also uses a cane. The path is very enjoyable. Like, look at this fallen ancient tree that have emerged and got gnarly and started growing upward again, that vertical growth following the trail of the sun. Again, this is the tunnel, the canopy. There's a lot of room underneath these big canopies that the trees and the thicket are forming. An excellent spot for any amateur or professional photographer, or even for just an amateur vlogger like me. Climbing up the trail, we were met by several thickets of rhododendron, so heavy that at times it feels like we're walking in a tunnel. And also the temperatures today, late August, is in the 90s. Even during these times, the trail is cool. Again, caused by the greenery that's all around us. There are several types of plants here. As I mentioned earlier, there's a massive concentration of angelica. There's also a lot of native blueberries, native raspberries as well, which really was surprising for us. There's also goldenrod and a few other local ferns and native plants that are located on the lower story near the path leading up to the pinnacle. It is pollinator buffet here in these parts. The bees were buzzing. There were also all types. We've seen honeybees, solitary bees, and even bumblebees that are luckily very friendly. They were not being bothered by our presence as we walk along the trail. And toward the top, we emerge from a thicket onto this, a windswept grassy hill. At the top, there's a viewing area surrounded by a low stone wall. Looking south, you'll see the Parkway below, and to the west, rows of mountains that reach all the way out to Tennessee. Well, guys, here we are. We made it to the pinnacle point at Craggy Gardens. Really good view. Worth the hike. Getting up all the way through those steep steps and rocky formations that they've very well placed along the path and along the hike. So I'll show you a few vantage points on what this area looks like. We started out having an overcast day, but now it's not too overcast. And as you can tell, we have a few clouds rolling, but we like that. It just adds to the dimension of the slopes. Not a dry spot along the slopes of this part of North Carolina, and it's beautiful, peaceful. It's a good place to be for your holiday, a day trip if you live out here. Worth every step climbing up. We have a very knowledgeable park ranger who's answered most of the questions of the curious crowds that are here. Friendly lady. It's giving us a few ideas on plants, a few ideas on the topography of the place, the geography of the area, loads of local wildflowers and native plant species that are nearby. So this is Craggy Gardens up in the western side of North Carolina. You can Google it. They have a website. The National Park Service has information about the area, and enjoy your climb up here as we are doing for today. And here's a leave no trace tip for you guys. Craggy Gardens features a very fragile ecosystem and delicate plants, remnants of flora from the Ice Age. Can you believe that? So we try to encourage people to stay on the trail and within the rock wall at the summit to protect what makes Craggy Pinnacle so special for everybody. Now we are at the Pinnacle isn't the only trail in the area. We're pretty much located up north of this region, but from the south end of the visitor center or the north end of the picnic area, you can also access the more level Craggy Gardens trail. And from the visitor center where we were at earlier, the trail is a mostly gentle climb of about a third of a mile to a shelter, and then an additional half a mile to a picnic area. This is an area that we'll probably revisit the next time we're along this trail of the Blue Ridge Parkway. We didn't have enough time today, but definitely next time it's another area worth the visit. We hope you like our first offering for Here, There, and Everywhere here on Acorn Hill. There will be a lot more people, places, and events that we will go to, and we will feature them on this part of our channel. Be sure to be part of our experience and adventures by being a subscriber to our channel. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know that we have new posts coming on YouTube. For now, never let an adventure pass you by. This is Louie.
And Cat.
And we'll see you back here.
There.
And everywhere.